Hello, everyone. I'm Adam with AEW Maine Treasure Adventures. Today, we are going to go on another adventure. This time, the hidden gem that we are going to check out is located on the eastern side of Mount Desert Island, near the Schooner Head Overlook in Acadia National Park. It is just a little ways out from downtown Bar Harbor, Maine. Let's go for a little walk down to the ledges, and then we will make our way to Anemone Cave. This path leads down to a beautiful rocky shoreline with huge ledges just off Schooner Head Overlook parking lot. This is a great easy path for everyone to explore the natural beauty. The trail is close to private property, so be respectful and stick to the trail. Anemone Cave was one of the biggest attractions in Acadia National Park. At one point, it was on the maps and signs within the park. There was even once metal railings that aided adventure seekers down the cliffside at the cave entrance. Between the summer of 1969 and 1971, the National Park Service started to remove Anemone Cave from the park issued maps and brochures. The sign and rails were also taken down around the same time to discourage visitation. This ancient sea cave is now no longer on any current maps of Acadia National Park, and unfortunately for good reasons. Ever since the 1980s, I remember coming down here and looking at the anemones throughout the cave and the cave entrance. Now you only see about half of what used to be here throughout the tide pools. Anemones have declined here due to trampling, people walking into the tide pools, and removing or touching marine life. You get one of the prettiest views right here, looking out of the cave, or on top of the ledges. Let's take a look at some of the marine life you might come across while around the entrance or in the cave. The bright pink color that you see is a kind of seaweed that grows as a crust on the rocks using calcium carbonate in its structure. You can also see barnacles, jingle shells, periwinkles, green crabs, limpets, mussels, shrimp, different types of seaweed, and at least 3 species of anemones. You can also see starfish, although that has become more rare over the last 10 years. Be careful of the tides and know when they are going out or coming in. If you don't account for the tides in a very conservative manner, you can become trapped by the tides or swept off the rocks. Make sure you wear something that has great grip because these rocks and seaweed can be really slippery. Tread carefully around the tide pools. Don't touch the marine life. Don't throw the rocks from above down below, as people are there. Don't remove anything that's there naturally. Carry in, carry out whatever you bring. Most importantly, have an amazing time taking in one of the most incredible views in the state of Maine and in Acadia National Park. This place does have its tragedies that have taken place here. One of the worst events that happened at Anemone Cave was in 1993. Douglas Rose, a 20-year-old College of the Atlantic student, and Paul Ryan, 20-year-old employee at Cadillac Mountain Sports in Bar Harbor, wanted to rock climb into the cave. The climbers walked about a half an hour across the rocky terrain to get to the climbing area, then lowered themselves on 2 ropes to the floor of the cliff after securing their equipment. At low tide, they made their way across boulders and into the sea cave, where they attached their equipment to the top of the cave and were able to walk across the ceiling. Even though the 2 men were experienced climbers, they encountered problems when the high tide interfered with their climb out of the sea cave. Ryan was able to swing his way out of the cave, but Rose got stuck in the cave, still tethered to the ceiling. Their climbing window was shortened due to the waves and wind. Rescuers in a 40-foot U.S. Coast Guard boat rushed to the scene to try to save Rose, but with the ocean at high tide, it was impossible to get to him. Rose was unable to get out of the cave and ended up drowning. You can still, even today, see where they spiked the top of the cave with their gear. Anemone Cave is a unique environment that provides visitors with a chance to see beautiful organisms that would normally be obscured. Since even before Acadia National Park, during the 1870s, visitors have been delighted to explore this exciting sea cave. It's definitely an uncommon feature along Maine's coastline. I love going to the cave, and I've spent a ton of time in here throughout my life. I wish the railings were still here to help people get down to the cave more safely. I also wish Acadia National Park wouldn't hide this from the people. People should know about its existence and where it is. The park should also hold people accountable, put signs at the top with warnings about wearing proper shoes, no throwing rocks, and don't touch the tide pools, or there will be monetary fines. Just because a few idiots don't know how to wear the right shoes and not to touch stuff that they shouldn't be touching, it shouldn't have any negative impact on the 99% of the people that come here and respect the area and learn from the past history. There has to be a better, safer way to show off this amazing hidden gem, while holding the people that are not responsible accountable for their actions. One of the safest ways to see this hidden gem without actually climbing down to it is from the water. My recommendation and favorite thing to take out on the water is the Acadian Sightseeing and Nature Cruise. They leave daily during the season from the Atlantic Ocean side at 119 Eden Street. It's Bar Harbor's oldest running sightseeing and nature cruise. They've been doing it since 1934. Make sure to either bring binoculars, or you can rent them right on the boat for a small fee. Make sure to bring cash. If you want to walk down to the cave, just be smart and careful. Wear shoes with really good tread. Don't step on anything that looks wet because it's probably slippery. Test every step before you plant your foot down. Stay away from the tide pools and throwing rocks, and you'll have a good old time. Until the next adventure, AEW out.